Alright, so you use wood shavings for the beddings. Okay. But before you put the wood shavings, you should have the floor well prepared. Don't make the surface of the floor to be water resistant. The surface of the floor of your pen should be absorbent. If you are using cement floor, then the cement should be mixed, the concrete should be mixed in such a way that it can still absorb, moisture. Because when moisture comes through the bedding, it usually can be absorbed by the floor. But if you have a floor that is like tiles, you should know that will not allow water or moisture to go down. So take note of that before you put your bedding on it. And then some have also recommended adding some bit of crushed charcoal. Alright? And also some also recommend adding ashes, to help to keep the pen dry, because the drier it is, the better for your birds. So you prepare the pen this way before you bring the birds in the 3rd week. Okay, so after you brought them in the 3rd week, what is the next thing you should do is to ensure that they have enough feed and they have enough water. Okay, make sure they have enough feed and enough water. And to keep your costs low, it's usually advisable to buy in bulk. You calculate based on how many birds you have. You can calculate to know how many bags of feed you probably need to buy. For instance, if you have 50 birds, you should know that of 50 birds over a period of 6 weeks will consume probably 8 to 10 bags of 25 kilogram feed. So you have to prepare that down. Now, the feed you're buying will be 2 types in particular, or 3 types. Sometimes you can get the starter, the grower, and the finisher. Okay, but the grower is not usually in this climate, it's not usually something that you do emphasis on. So you can go for starter and finisher. Okay, the reason for the finisher is because the finisher contains things that will respond to that age of from week 4, all right, week 5 and week 6. And then you have your starter, and they are taken from week 1 to week 4. All right. So that's how it is. So of course, some farmers also use starter throughout. If you do that, they will be okay, but you will not get the weight that you desire. And they may not be as strong as you would have loved them to be at the end of 6 weeks if they are broilers. I'm focusing on broilers right now. Okay? Alright, so get your feed and get your pen ready. Then you bring your birds. And then the next thing you do is to keep feeding them. As you're feeding them, they will be converting the feed to meat in their body. So that's what broilers are all about. Broilers are all about you feeding them and them converting the feed to meat. So if you want your broiler to be as big as you want, then you must feed them also to that expectation for them to give you that particular weight that you're expecting. Okay? If you are feeding your birds once a day, you can't expect to have the same weight at the end of 6 weeks with someone who is feeding his own birds twice a day, or someone who is feeding his own birds 3 times a day. Now, when it comes to feeding, how do you feed so that the birds can remain healthy